I mentioned last week that I didn't have a question because I talked about my favorite MCU movies, but I completely forgot about something, and I'm sorry that I did, but I'll get to it now. The Criterion Collection announced the new movies for the month of December 2022. They do this on the 15th of every month, and I meant to do it a couple of episodes ago, and I'll be honest with you, I forgot. I completely forgot. So my bad on that one. So I think I will get into what the Criterion Collection announced for December. The first thing they announced was the Michael Haneke trilogy. This trilogy box set comes with The Seventh Continent, Benny's Video, and 71 fragments of a chronology of chance. I have seen a few of Michael Haneke's films. They're fantastic. They are really good, but they are deeply unsettling in certain aspects. And I've heard of Benny's Video and how unsettling that movie can be. So if you're interested in Michael Haneke, I would say that's a decent Blu-ray box set. I'm wondering why they chose the artwork that they did for the box set. Maybe there's a reason. So I won't comment too much on it, but it kind of looks kind of ugly, to be absolutely honest. But I would recommend, if you're not interested in the box set, but you want to check out Haneke's work, I would recommend The White Ribbon and Cache. If you're not in the U.S., it's called Hidden elsewhere. I think it's called Hidden. But Cache especially is a fantastic film. Deeply unsettling, though. But I think it is a great film by Michael Haneke. The next box set that they announced was 3 films by Maya Zetterling. And I have to be honest with you guys. I've never heard of Maya Zetterling. I never heard of this person. But, that's the thing about the Criterion Collection. If you're into the collection and what they release, they show you new things that you've never seen before, which is what makes the Criterion Collection exciting, along with all the special features and the artwork and everything that they give. So the movies that are in there are Loving Couples, Night Games, and The Girls. I've heard of Night Games, and I've heard of Night Games because, before I stopped pursuing my desire to be a film a legit film critic in a newspaper, I saw a bunch of films that are not pleasant to watch, kind of disturbing, kind of uncomfortable to watch. And Night Games is essentially about a person that explores his Oedipal relationship with his mother, I think is what it's about. So that was very controversial when it came out. It continues to be controversial. I mean, if you're talking about having sex with your mother, I guess that would do it. So, yeah, I mean, if you're into disturbing movies, I guess that might be something you could look into. The next one that was announced was The Velvet Underground. This is the documentary. It's a documentary by one of the better filmmakers out there, Todd Haynes. He directed this documentary about, let me see what it says, about rock and roll and about, let me read what it says. Emerging from the primordial soup of glamour, gutter sleaze, and feverish creativity that was New York's 1960s underground culture, the Velvet Underground redefined music with its at once raw and exalted blend of experimentation, art, damage, rock and roll. So yeah, it's a music documentary. I will say this, even if you're not fans of the music that is being placed on these documentaries, there are some fantastic documentaries about musicians and what they go through. I know the most popular one is Some Kind of Monster, the one from Metallica, which, yeah, that was good. It was pretty good. Martin Scorsese does a bunch of documentaries, like The Last Waltz. I think he did Don't Look Back. The Massels Albert Maysles did Gimme Shelter, which was a fantastic music documentary. Don't sleep on these if you want good documentaries, even if you're not interested in the artists themselves. But I'm a fan of Todd Haynes. I might check that out. I might actually give that a shot to see how that is. And finally, the last movie that was announced for December is Cooley High. This has been one that's been requested by a lot of people. And I am also ashamed to admit I didn't really hear about this film until recently. Criterion Collection has been making a concerted effort to put more Black and African American filmmakers into the collection. And they've been doing a pretty good job, I would say. My fear was when they were making this concerted effort that they would make the wrong choices, that they would just take popular films from Black creators, regardless of quality, and put them in there just to shut people up. But they didn't do that, which I think is fantastic. And I think they recently did Love and Basketball, which I haven't seen. Love Jones, which is good. Devil in a Blue Dress. They also they're going to do Malcolm X. Great, another Spike Lee movie. There is The Learning Tree. There is, there are so many of them now that they're putting in, which is Menace to Society, another great one. They're making a very good effort to get really good African American and Black films in there, which, you know what? Again, I haven't seen some of these films, but the way that the Criterion Collection looks for quality, I'll look forward to them and see how they do and to see if they're good. So I'm all for it. To get more cultures and more Eve's Bayou is a great movie. If it means that getting more of these types of cultures and different types of groups of people get represented in a certain way, but are represented in a quality way, I'm all for it. So I'm totally okay with it. So that's good, and they're doing a good job. So people are happy with the decisions they're making. And yeah, that's great. So the 4 films that were announced for December were the Michael Haneke trilogy, 3 films by Maya Zetterling, The Velvet Underground, and Cooley High. I think I'm going to try and check Cooley High and maybe The Velvet Underground. My disturbing film quotient has run dry as of recently, so I might not check out the Michael Haneke trilogy or Night Moves, like that, the Night Games, I should say. That's not really what I'm interested in, but if it is for you, good for you. Good luck. But yeah, those are the ones that were announced for December. Next month will be January, and I'll look forward to what happens next with the Criterion Collection.